Okay, I may have a Persona hot take. I think the series should get older. Now, what do I mean by that? There's been a bit of a discussion, mainly because it's been so long between P5 and a potential P6 that we have nothing else to talk about in the Persona community, that maybe Persona should age out of its high school foundation and move into, say, college, university, or even beyond. And this debate has been raging for quite a while. And honestly, I understand both sides of the argument. The charm of Persona is the way it juggles its dungeon crawling RPG aspects alongside its social simulator elements. That is the charm of Persona and what I love about the series. And asking it to become something that it just fundamentally isn't is jarring and absolutely off-putting for a lot of people for justifiable reasons, in my opinion. However, making the jump from high school to college I don't think has to compromise what makes Persona so lovable and enjoyable. And honestly, I think it just gives it opportunity to expand its wings and try new things. We have had numerous games set in the high school setting, and we've had numerous takes on the ideas of the activities that you can do as a high school student. And there are plenty of new ideas that they can even do. They showed that in Royal, in my opinion, with the dots and pool games, which had great synergy with the actual dungeon crawling RPG elements. That was phenomenal in my opinion, and I want them to lean more into that. Not too much, but a little bit more. But at times throughout Persona, it feels like they've wanted to broach subject matters, or talk about or show certain things, but because of the age of the characters, they just weren't able to do it fully. Remember the King's game in Persona 4? Or the Jazz Bar in Persona 5 Royal? Or the Monk Social Link from P3? They found ways around this, and not having the characters actually consume alcohol. But that can only get you so far, and if they want to maybe tackle certain subject matters or storylines, moving to university or college just allows them more options. They can still do what they did before. Heck, you can even go closer to P3 since that game had a dorm setting. But I think after multiple games set in the high school formula, having something set in college or university could also just breathe fresh air into the whole subject matter and tone of the game. People who have played Persona for years have gotten older, and having a series able to mature alongside their player base, I tend to find more often than not, is the way to go. And also helps series keep feeling fresh and new. Now, I wouldn't argue for the elimination of the social mechanics, because I think those are intrinsic to Persona, and if they want to do games without that style and without those social aspects, well, Shin Megami Tensei's right there, and they still make that series. And they're making ReFantazio, an entire new series as well. And if there are stories they want to tackle without having these social simulator aspects of being a student, they have the other series to tackle them. I'm not saying eliminate them wholeheartedly. I'm saying be able to tackle different elements and different styles and different tones alongside an older cast of characters. Which I think you can do without it feeling jarring by aging the characters up a little bit. And honestly, I don't see the negatives of just going to university or college, outside of the idea that anime really likes high school settings. I don't know, I just think it'd be an interesting idea to give them new opportunities and new dynamics that they can utilize to further the stories of individual confidants or social links. A lot of the times when I'm playing these Persona games, and they want to broach these very adult subject matters, they always have to find some kind of excuse to have your teenager character be part of the events that are taking place. Like, oh, he's just a worker here. Oh, he doesn't actually drink anything. Oh, we'll just have fruit juice. And it's not just that. Like, it's not just drinking. It's a whole bunch of other elements, where if you age the character up and give them some more overall life experience, that they can more easily relate and be inserted into these more mature storylines and themes. And I think there's a lot of potential for it to work. And they may or may not elect to go along this path. They may elect to go again with a high school style, and there's still a lot that can be done, or that they can do in that style and in that setting. There's still a lot they can do, absolutely, 100%. Not saying that there isn't. What I'm saying is, personally, I would like to see them try and spread their wings and try something a little bit older. Tackle these themes with a more relatable character that can actually be inserted in these storylines and not feel a little bit jarring at some level. Not that it was bad before, just that I would like to see a different perspective. And with college schedules generally being more laissez-faire or a little bit more erratic than high school, I feel like they can also introduce some interesting scheduling mechanics. Like, you could choose to do a class daytime or nighttime, and maybe have different activities available to you in your off time, depending upon what you choose. That could be interesting. And now the more I think about it, there's so many opportunities for interesting gameplay and min-max potential if you introduce a setting or a tone that can breathe more laissez-faire or more flexibility in terms of your schedule, which college allows you to do in a more natural way, in a more relatable setting. There's so much potential there, and I would love to see it explored and fleshed out. Like, take for example, imagine, right, that the game is broken up into different semesters, and for each semester, what you can do is say, hey, I want to take this class on Mondays in the morning, but on Tuesday at night. So when you get to Monday, your daytime is taken up by class, but then you have free time at night and in the afternoon. Whereas on Tuesday, you have daytime and afternoon, but the night's taken up. And you can have different activities available on each, like, little time block for each day. That would also encourage repeated playthroughs. Like, sure, I'm sure, as there always are, a way to break it down as to, if you want to do everything in one playthrough, do this now, this then, and this later. Sure, absolutely. The game should not be designed to try and eliminate that. The game should be designed in a way to encourage player agency and allow the player to do what they want to do when they want to do it if the schedule permits it. That's the charm of scheduling in Persona, and I think there's a lot of potential there to be had. Like, you don't need to lock off entire social links or confidants. You could, you don't have to. But, like, maybe certain activities are available at certain days of the week, or maybe certain characters are available at certain different times of the day on different days of the week. You know, stuff like that. There's so much potential there that I'm sure I haven't even thought of right now. But I would love to see a good, full, honest try and attempt at that style. And this isn't a make-or-break thing for me at all. Like, if the next game's still in a high school, I'm not gonna, like, bat an eye. It's just one of those things where I always go, what if? And imagine the possibilities of what could be. Whether or not that coalesces into an actual game in the future, or even Persona 6, remains to be seen, but I think it's interesting to at least think about and to talk about. So what I want you to do, my dear viewer, is leave a comment down below with your thoughts, your opinions, your takes on this subject matter. Do you want to see Persona get a little bit older? Do you want them to stay in high school? What do you want to do? I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear your perspectives on the situation, and to hear your opinions. Let's get some good discussion going on this. And if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, have a great day, go play some video games if you can, and as always, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody, until we meet again.